Hello everybody, welcome back to Iowa Plains View and the Zero to Hero Challenge. We solved some problems last time. We solved most of our problems last time, in fact, but I came over to check the cows this morning and I realized something. I looked and I saw, well, there's no slurry. Well, why is there no slurry? I think it's because they don't have any water. I tried to avoid getting a cow pen that I had to put water into, but apparently I guess I didn't look close enough when I was buying this one. And we need to water our cows. So I'm going to run to the store and get a water bowser, a tanker, and bring it back and water the cows. We're going to need one anyway for slurry. And yes, I understand that we're going to be using the same tanker for both slurry and for water. But I promise I'll wash it out real good off camera. We just can't afford two. And the game doesn't care if we have two. So we're going to have one and we'll wash it out. I'll meet you guys at the store. Well, of course, there's nothing in the sale that we actually need. So let's go looking. First place to look is going to be in animals. There's going to be lots of tankers here. Unfortunately, most of them are pretty small, and we're going to have, pretty soon, we're going to end up having about 30,000 liters of slurry every day or two. So we're going to want something a little bigger than the normal. Here's one that's 15,300 liters for $5,000, and that's not bad at all. That's for a semi. This one looks great, and you can do an unreal capacity, but I found that in a lot of productions, this one is just a little too high up off the ground, and the triggers don't read it. Actually, I'm sorry, it's a little too low to the ground and the triggers don't read it. I've had to put some things down, some big plates of steel, some decorative plates of steel, or you can build the ground up a little bit. But I've really just stopped using it. It's kind of frustrating. So I think for now we're going to go with this one. It works for us. It's cheap. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. We'll be able to water our cows, plus we'll be able to haul our slurry around. So yes, we're going to buy that. And we're going to buy it because we're going to need it every day. Or at least every other day. So it makes no sense to lease it. All right, let's go water our cows. All right, so that production over there, it takes in water and it sends it out, but obviously it's not sending it to our cows. So what we're going to do is we're going to install a water source right here, and hopefully that will allow us to fill our tank and fill the cow's tank at the same time. We can overload while we're onboarding. So let's look and see. We need containers. And I think the most cost-effective thing is here. This was designed for the open gardens, but I think it'll work great for our purposes. It'll fit right in here out of the way. We can kind of angle our trigger so that we can get our tank working. Let's see. Turn on our help menu. Yep, it's filling and we can overload at the same time. I'm going to let it go ahead and fill up. Hopefully, sometimes you get lucky and you'll take on water at the same speed that you're giving out water, so that you just press it once and it just works. Now this one's going to fill a little faster than it takes out. Or it sends out. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And I have no idea how much this holds. It looks like it's getting pretty full. But we can start filling before it gets empty, and we never stop filling the cow barn. All right, so our cow barn is full. So maybe now our cows will start producing slurry. That is my hope. All right, so we got all this stuff over here. I might as well leave this over here by the cow barn. We're not going to sell milk we're not going to take it anywhere to sell. We're just going to automatically sell it. All right. So, well, that's probably not the best place to leave it. I won't be able to hook up to it if I do that. So we'll back it in there. That'll make it a little easier later on. Hopefully we'll have some slurry tomorrow morning. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put in a shed, and I'm going to put it over here in this other lot, or this other piece of property. You can see I did a little landscaping. I took out the cliff that was right there, and I leveled this out, and I think this is where our house is going to go. And then I simplified the road. I just made one road coming in from there and one road coming in from there. And I think our shed is going to go here. I'm going to use a shed that I've used actually quite a bit because it really works for our purposes. And it's not terribly expensive. Sheds. Yeah, it's this one. And I don't think we're going to need another shed at all. This should have plenty of room for everything we're going to need. In fact, this one might be enough for our purposes, and we could save 10 grand on it. So I think I'll do that. That'll hold everything we need to hold. And I think I'm going to put it all the way over to this side, so that we can use that space too for our trailer. All right, I think that's going to do nicely. We can fit all of our gear in there. Let's go get the gear and put it in, and then we'll build ourselves a house. A very, very modest house. Basically one step up from the tent we were sleeping in. But Iowa can get some pretty intense thunderstorms, including hail. And the last thing I want to be is caught in a spring thunderstorm in a tent. I spent my life in Texas, and I've seen some of the craziest, most destructive thunderstorms you've ever seen. 2 years ago, my house was just got the crap beaten out of it by tennis ball sized hail. I got it all fixed. That's what insurance is for, but I got a new roof out of the deal, and we actually needed a new roof at the time, so that's good, but still, that's a scary thing. If you don't have hailstorms where you live, count yourself lucky. You hear a lot about tornadoes and hurricanes, but the real damage comes from high winds mostly and hail. Tornadoes will damage a selection of houses, a swath, if you will, of houses. Hail will beat the crap out of an entire city. I think we're going to leave this trailer over here. I think that makes the most sense. It's really only going to be used over here. So we'll just stow it right there. That looks like a good place. And we're going to come back over here and we're going to build ourselves a house. Now, like I said, this is going to be a modest house, so don't expect too much. I don't think Iowa gets as many tornadoes as Texas, so I think I'm safe with a trailer. All right. That looks cozy. You can't even see the wheels. That's nice. We can live here. It needs a paint job, but again, it's better than the tent. All right, so let's put us a little driveway in there. I don't know what we're going to park in front of it, but it just looks wrong if we don't have some sort of walkway or driveway or something going to it. So we're going to do gravel like the rest of it. Out a bit. All right, so we have a house and we have some parking for that house. So we can sleep in a real house. Not sure why it does that. Let's see if I can get rid of that real quick. That makes me a little crazy. In here and see if we can get rid of it. Nope. Well, we can get rid of some of it. Try making our square big. Works. Okay. That's better. Sleep trigger's there, so we're all good with our new house. All right. So, I believe that we now have everything required to satisfy this challenge except for paying off our debt and having $1 million. So we're getting very, very close, y'all. Very close indeed. Make sure that our cows have food. I think they do. I think they have about 40,000 liters of food. Yep. They have about 40,000 liters. They have 27,000 liters of water. Oh, look, we now have milk and slurry. So water was the key, which makes sense. They're both liquids. The next thing we're going to do this morning is we're going to sell off all of our watermelons. I think we're going to get about this amount of watermelons every day, which is nice to have that daily source of income. I mean, it's a task we have to do every day, but that's okay. Don't get something for nothing, to quote Rush. All right, let's see. Is this a universal? Yes, yes it is. Have to keep my different kinds of auto load straight. I think we have 12 here. So, and I think they run about $1,000 a piece. $1,000 a crate. So if we can make $12,000 a day, I'll go for that. It's so funny. You play this game and you talk about, oh yeah, I make $100,000 a month. If you made that in real life, you could hire somebody to play Farming Simulator for you. All right, I believe that the watermelon cell station has been installed near the vehicle shop, so we're going to head that way and see if we can find it. There it is. I own this land, but since I didn't pay anything for it, I told these guys they could have a year's lease for free just to help them get started, because this land helped me get started. And they promised that they would always buy my watermelons no matter how many they had in stock. They weren't going to guarantee that for all the other farmers, but for me, anytime I bring watermelons here, they will buy them for the next year. And then we'll talk about maybe a price next year. Look at that, $14,619. If we can do that every day, or maybe a little more even, we're going to be in really good shape. So we're back up to 52. And I think what we're going to do is go back down here to our property. And we're going to grab our, I don't know why my left turn signal's on. I must have hit a button because I don't really use my turn signals. Alright, well maybe it'll automatically go off once I turn left here. If not, I'll stop and figure it out. But we're going to get our, nope, they don't automatically turn off. We'll figure it out. We're going to get our loading wagon. We're going to go over to the other silo. We're going to grab about, I don't know, 50,000 liters of grass. And we're going to bring it back over here. And we're going to put in some sheep. I think sheep will really boost our clothing production, even if we just have 60. And I think we have enough money to put in a sheep barn and 60 sheep. That should cover us, I think. If not, we can stick around and maybe make some money in the next hour on electricity. And that should put us over. Alright, so let's drop this trailer right here. Alright, I'm going to go get some grass. And I will bring you guys back when I'm ready to buy some sheep. Alright, we're back. And it's time to put in some sheep. And looking at this area, I think we can put in some sheep and we can still turn most of the rest of this into a decent sized grass field. And whatever grass we grow here will feed these sheep. So I think I can put a sheep barn right here. I want to say I can. Let's see. There's a great mod here. Very inexpensive and holds a whole lot of sheep. It is the sheep barn extra large. Holds 1,500 sheep and it costs $15,000. That's a good return. Oh, look, it fits in there like it was made for it. That is just perfect. And if we need 3,000 sheep, we could put one in on the other side too. I think there's room on the other side as well. Yep. We can squeeze one in over here too if we need to. I don't think we're going to need to. I think 1,500 sheep is going to be just fine. But this is going to dramatically increase our wool or our fabric production by adding wool. We're going to put this right about there. Excellent. And now we're going to put in, we can go ahead and put our grass in. And I think we're only going to have enough money to do 60 sheep for right now. But any wool we produce is going to just add. Nope. Oh, wait, yeah, it is. I thought it wasn't going to let me put grass in until I put sheep in, but it's going to be okay. The only thing I've found that's a little tricky about this sheep barn is the feed trigger. You've got to get pretty far underneath there to dump. So if you've got a tipper that only tips to the back, that's not going to really work very well. You're going to need something that either vibrates it out, or you're going to need a side tipper. Side tippers work really well in this barn. So you just gotta figure out how to work around the issues. All right, let's put some sheep in it. We're going to go with the Swiss Black Brown Mountain Sheep. That sounds good to me. So we're going to select those. We're going to take 60 of them. That's going to cost us $32,333. So we will buy them. Yes. And now we have very little money left. Well, we got sheep. So we're going to use some of our money here to place one of these, which is the automatic distribution of animal products. It's a mouthful, but it just means that we're going to be able to distribute wool, which is a very nice thing indeed. So all we have to do is we have to place this area over the area where the wool pellets are going to spawn. Place it down. Then we can go over here behind it and open the production, turn it on, and tell it to distribute wool. But then we also have to go over here to our spinnery and tell it to make wool fabric. And also to make batch fabric from mixed materials. All right, so now we've got some wool production going. That's only going to make more clothes for us. So I think the only job we have left to do today is to turn the rest of this into a fairly decent sized grass field, huh? All right, I'm going to run and get a plow. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. We have spent most of our money. We needed to get the tractor repaired, and that was about $5,000. And at the time, I only had about $4,000, so I had to wait until the hour turned over. And it looks like we're making less than $2,000 an hour now. And I think that's because we had to split up the silage between the BGA and making TMR. So when we sell our first load of milk, we'll get some of that money back every day, or every month, I guess I should say. And we've added also the greenhouses, so we've just got to kind of wait a little bit. We've got to give it a little bit of time before all these productions start to come up to speed. But we do need the extra grass. So we're going to go ahead and kind of plow this up and plant it in grass. And, you know, if that stops working for us, if we don't need the grass anymore, we can always come back to gravel. It's not terribly hard. But for right now, we're going to plant this in grass. So let's allow create fields. Let's lower the plow and let's go. going to see how well this actually pulls. We're about 50 horsepower under what it says it needs. Well, we look like we're doing okay. Let's lift that up. We're going to go this way. Just going to kind of get the outline of it done. And then we can plow out the insides. We're going to use as much of this land as we possibly can. I guess I can get a little bit closer. I didn't want to get too close to that slope. Just makes things difficult when you're trying to mow it. I'm going to go till it tells me I have to stop. Yep, that's where I have to stop. I was afraid it wasn't going to pull this plow because of the horsepower issue, but this plow also has a dirty little secret if you're not familiar with it. If you flip it around, you can hook up to it from the other side where the tines are backwards, and it'll still plow, and you can pull it with just about anything. So I guess that's a little cheaty, but you know, what are you going to do? It lets you do it. Sometimes you got to do it. Again, we're going to go as far as it will let us. All right. It's not going to be a huge field, but it's going to be a second field. Going to be more grass. Try to get even with this other one. Got to make sure we have plenty of access here for our vehicles and to get to the sheep. But the nice thing about a grass field is you can drive on it and it doesn't do anything to it. All right, and that's our grass field. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to start over there on the long edge and get the rest of this done. right, we got it all plowed. Looks good. That's a decent sized grass field. I've worked with smaller. So it's all good. I think by the time we get to April, we'll have enough money to lease a seeder and get this all planted in grass. And we'll have another grass field we can cut every 3 months, which really, really helps. But I think we're going to leave it there for today. If you liked this episode, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. If you didn't like this episode, please post a comment and tell me why. Either way, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.